Hello everyone and welcome to OpenPlant Connect Edition Update 11 Fireside Chat. I'm Richard Urban, Manager of Product Marketing at Bentley Systems, and today I'm here with members of OpenPlant's product management team, Abbas Ali and Scott Walker, to get details of what's available in this latest release. So to kick us off on this update, PlantSight is part of the Bentley iTwin platform solution. So what can you tell us about this new release and how it relates to OpenPlant and its interoperability to PlantSight?
Thanks, Richard. Hello, everyone. I'm really excited to talk about Update 11 release, and I do believe it will further enable our users to enhance the adoption of connected workflows. That means taking advantage of PlantSight to leverage iTwin-based services for data management, design review, and various day-to-day project-related tasks, keeping the consistent view of the data no matter if they are working in PNID, Modeler, or any other OpenPlant application. We continuously advance our component-based workflows with each release for stability, performance, and functionality, which makes the design scalable and accessible to distributed teams. In addition to this, in Update 11, one of the new changes I would like to mention here is updates to the iTwin attach reference workflows, which is basically attaching the iTwin as reference, as against to attaching local or managed TGNs as references for design collaboration. The user interface is revamped in this release to provide user operations that are normally done for reference data like snap, locate, display, for instance, in the same dialog for ease of usability, as well as now the dialog is non-modal and can be docked at the side too. You can see list of iModels if data is referenced from more than one. Attaching difference references can now be done using single apply button. For OpenPlant components that are pushed in iTwin via component-based operations, you can now see the whole plant breakdown structure, and designers from other disciplines can easily navigate and select the desired data to be attached as reference for design collaboration. Another new feature is the ability to attach by volume, which will attach everything inside that physical volume as reference. For data management on PlantSight, we are continuously pushing new features as it follows a different release cycle. And with the latest updates, it offers new query browser with multiple schema support and capability to do advanced queries, which can also be edited for primary classes and properties. There are more role-based access control options to limit or allow various functions of Data Manager. Since our users can now use Bentley raceways and cable management and ProStructures modeling tools inside OpenPlant Modeler, they can use the common collaborate ribbon to sync the data to iTwin and then use it in iTwin attach reference workflows, or can consume in any other value addition services in PlantSight. In fact, for raceways, we have further improved the interoperability with PlantSight, getting one step closer to provide component-based modeling option. I'm sure, Scott, you would like to tell about this.
Well, thanks, Abbas. You now have the option to persist project data inside an iModel in PlantSight as an alternative to a SQL Server database. Utilizing PlantSight as an alternative to a SQL Server facilitates distributed engineering workflows, making it possible for users from different offices to easily collaborate and perform cable routing on the same project. And since no SQL Server database is required in this configuration, it means less IT maintenance to administrate your projects.
This is very exciting and will help users move along their digital twin journey much faster. So starting with the modeling tools, Abbas, what new features and capabilities are now available to users regarding OpenPlant Modeler?
I would encourage everyone to review complete What's New section for this release, which is available as part of our online documentation. There are many updates for designers and draftsmen to help in effective modeling of piping. I can tell you about few of these new features. Let's start with some new content. In this release, Mega-Lug flange adapters have been added to facilitate better connection between pipe and flange end components. A new catalog and end type is implemented for section bell mouth end type components. In general, there are many updates for Victaulic catalog and components, including grooved, quick fittings. For placement options, auto-fitting functionality has been improved to place mitted bend as an auto-fitting option during pipe routing. Section in auto-fitting dialog has been added to configure and place any required mitted bend on any needed angle. While placing pipes, you can switch pipe ports while doing auto routing using Shift key or through Place Component Options dialog. This specifically helps and saves time in routing pipes that have different end conditions. Pipeline Manager has new options to dynamically update the data in Pipeline Manager if model or design has changed. It also now retains the sorting order of columns after it is relaunched or even if DGNs are closed and reopened. You can now place tap ports on sides of elbows, mitted bends, T's, valves, and pipes using new advanced tap port option. In addition to advanced tap port, updates are done to improve saddle rollers to have ability to specify various parameters to control the placement and updated handler to manipulate or edit once it has been placed.
Great. And Scott, what new features can we expect to see in Bentley Raceway and cable management?
Thanks, Richard. We've included some new cable trays in this release, which includes the Oglen FTE 50 cable trays, the Oglen FTE 80 cable trays, as well as a new TechLine SnapTrack catalog.
You can now take advantage of a more comprehensive SDK to create your own custom tools and automate your design process. The new SDK enables you to create, read, update, and delete equipment and raceway systems. What you are seeing is a series of example exercises that showcase what the APIs can do for you, which we deliver with the SDK. We first saw the equipment-related APIs in action, and now we are seeing the raceway APIs. To highlight the capabilities of the raceway APIs, the exercises will demonstrate how you can place both straight pieces and fittings and change the direction of the raceway system through automation. You can utilize it to build extensive raceway systems. Complete documentation of the SDK is included with the product install so that you can begin to automate your custom processes and expedite your project delivery today. A new parametric content creation tool was added to the software, which provides an interface for defining complex equipment, raceway components, and supports that doesn't require scripting expertise. You can select from various 3D elements and specify sizes, positions, and rotation through a tree-structured interface to build complex components that perform well in a 3D model. And after you define a new raceway component, you can use the Raceway Creation tool to define the catalog entry that will make use of the 3D component. And then you can just make a simple catalog entry in the XML file to utilize it within the Raceway router. So finally, using the Raceway router, you can then route the Raceway component in the 3D model.
I understand that there have been some significant enhancements to the P&ID design tools. Scott, what can we expect to see here?
Well, we're excited to introduce a series of new enhancements that will individually save you significant design time, but additionally work in concert with one another to deliver even more value.
First, we have introduced a new instrument panel component. You can define the size of the box at placement and assign it a tag, description, and other relevant properties. A new class has been introduced for this panel, which means you can customize the properties that are available by modifying the appropriate schema files to best suit your needs. Later, you can use handles on the panel to resize it or relocate it as needed. The panel can be used to house instruments, which will inherit the associated items and properties assigned to the panel. If you place or drag an instrument inside a panel, it will automatically adopt the properties of the panel, including the number property of the panel's tag. Also, if you rename the panel, the number property on all the instruments within the panel will immediately update as well. These capabilities make it efficient to both design and modify instrument panels. Second, you now have the ability to define virtual instruments. These are instruments that you don't wish to show in your document, but still need to account for in a bill of materials or instrument list. By selecting an existing instrument in your PID, you can now choose the Virtual Instrument tool to define a related virtual instrument. A common example, as shown here, would be a temperature indicator shown in the PID that would have a corresponding thermal well. You can define that thermal well as a virtual instrument without having to place it in the actual document. After creating the thermal well as a virtual instrument, you can sync the document to PlantSite and use Engineering Data Manager to see that the thermal well tag has been created and thus can be reported on as needed. The use of virtual instruments enables you to save both design time and space by decluttering your PIDs, making them easier to read and review. Lastly, we are excited to provide you with a new tag replication feature, which enables you to quickly duplicate a process that is repeated within a plant. Now you can save a lot of design time by drawing a process once and replicating it as many times as you need to create additional tags without needing to draw the same process for each occurrence in the plant. The replication tool creates additional incremented tags for each item that was included in the replicated process, and you will see in parentheses next to each component or pipeline tag the number of times that item has been replicated. If your selected process includes virtual instruments, those will also be replicated. After you sync the document to PlantSite, you can see the unique replicated tags created using a query in Engineering Data Manager. This ensures that you can get an accurate bill of materials or component list as required. You can see how tag replication working in concert with virtual instruments can reduce the number of PID documents required and can expedite the overall design process.
Thanks, Scott. Those are some very exciting new features. Abbas, would you share with us some of the new deliverable enhancements, please?
Sure. Intelligent deliverables, easy setup, and scalability are the key value propositions of working with OpenPlant. Label placement, white space management, annotation improvements, and additional setup options have been the major areas of development for OpenPlant isometrics in this release. You now have option to place additional information about direction, angle, and orientation of OLEDs on isometric drawing. A new option has been added to handle dimension positions of values and allows all values to be placed outside of dimension lines. Also, improvements are made for readability of vertical dimensions by aligning dimension text. For better setup and configuration options, there is a switch now to disable the style editor for journal users and can only be made visible to administrators. There is also an option added to use flat DMS folder structure when using project-wise managed workspaces. This will help in running OpenPlant Isometric Manager in project-wise native DMS folder format. For project administration in journal, there are new updates in OpenPlant Project Administrator, including a new tool in specification generator to update specs in bulk if changes to catalogs have been done. This will avoid opening individual specs and saving them for any changes and should save a lot of time when such spec updates are done in projects.
Thanks very much, Abbas and Scott. It's been really great to see all the new updates that are available within Update 11. You can catch up with a whole new series of plant design webinars featuring OpenPlant on demand from the website. And if you haven't heard already, we've recently held our 2022 Year of Infrastructure Awards in London. And you can watch all the key moments, exciting news relating to Bentley's iTwin platform, and catch up with some of the featured projects which feature OpenPlant. And with that, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.